This is Jammin with Kron Rex.
And don't forget to subscribe so you get the videos as they come out.
Coach Cam made this shit.
I'm Brenden Kron. This is Rex. And welcome to Jammin with Kron and Rex.
AKA Mr. Make It Rain on my bros. I was pretty proud about that. I like giving myself nicknames, but I think Mr. Make It Rain on my bros. I think that's one I'm going to stick with for a little bit. Do you have any, I don't know, any advice you want to give to the people watching this?
Advice?
Advice. It could be in the stock market. It could be in life. Diet tips.
Don't do anything that I do in the stock market. I am awful with the stock market.
So are you going to share all of your stock market?
No. Advice?
Don't do anything with needles.
I get what you're saying, but that also means don't get a tattoo.
Yeah. Nothing with needles. Nothing with needles.
Is that your advice?
I was going to say things aren't that bad. But for some people, they are that bad.
I was like, I'm waiting for it.
Some things really are that bad. Who am I to tell somebody with, cancer, be like, oh, it's not that bad. And they're like, okay, thanks. That'll really get me over this slump in my life. I have brain cancer, but it ain't that bad.
Yeah, it ain't that bad. It's bad advice.
Yeah, it is that bad advice.
Yeah.
Because you always see wealthy people saying it, or people who just won an Oscar or a Grammy. They're like, keep fighting, it's not that bad. And meanwhile, this kid's chained up in somebody's basement. And they're like, you know what, you're right. It ain't that bad. It could be worse. Who am I? Shit ain't bad.
Yeah. I got a friend that always says, if you have to say it's not that bad, that means it's that bad. Because if it wasn't bad, you just say it's not bad.
Yeah.
So saying that bad means it's that bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I've never heard somebody, survive a serial killer attack and they're being interviewed and they're just like, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Things get better. Could
have been worse. Honestly,
for a Tuesday, it's not that bad.
I've had much worse Tuesdays.
But no, something I've actually been thinking about this week. I actually want to talk to a psychic.
All right, elaborate, because...
Yeah, well, I've never been in a situation where a psychic is kind of reachable, I guess, Yeah. So, I don't know where psychics are. I just figured all of them were in Louisiana, but I think I'm thinking of witches and voodoo artists, not psychics. But I'm a pretty skeptical guy. Always have been about anything spiritual. So, a psychic is I'm a big fan of Harry Houdini, and he spent the later part of his life absolutely tearing down psychics.
Yeah.
Because he thinks they're frauds,
yeah. So
whatever.
What makes you want to go?
This dude at my work, who is not, I wouldn't say a gullible person, but he has went to a psychic, and he was saying, how many things this psychic got right. And... So I'm kind of curious about it, because I was trying to ask him about it without sounding like a dick.
Yeah.
Because it's an over-the-phone psychic. You call him. And I was like, well, how do you pay him? And I was hoping he was going to say something cool oh, she already knows. She knows your debit card number. She's got this shit on lock.
That'd actually be...
I thought that'd been pretty dope.
I would have believed any psychic that just... Not any psychic that just knows my debit card. But...
Yeah. I can find it.
Yeah, that's honestly what I thought of. I was like, you'll be a psychic tomorrow after you steal my debit card.
After you go to sleep. But, no, apparently psychics accept PayPal, which I think's weird. I don't know why I'm expecting them to do it some, psychic way, but yeah, they use PayPal.
Yeah.
Cool, that's neat. It's not exciting, but no. He was also telling me, because I was like, well, whenever you call them, do you have like a set list of questions they're supposed to ask? And he was like, yeah, he's like, there's things you want to specifically know, but he's like, for the most part, she'll be able to like kind of reel you in with telling pretty much what she knows about you, like things that have happened, things she says will happen. Can guys be psychics? Because I realized I was just saying she the whole time. Can guys be psychics? Name 20.
I don't think in a show, in a movie.
What are the guy equivalent of psychics?
I mean, I think they're psychics. But I've never seen it. That is weird to think about.
I think their equivalent is like Doctor Strange. I think if you're a male psychic, you're Doctor Strange. I don't think there's an in-between. Like, I have never seen a psychic that's a guy. Or heard of.
I haven't either. Yeah, no.
But he said she'll also tell you what you was in the past. And there was... it was kind of interesting, but one of them made me, like verbally laugh. Like, out loud, I laughed because I just thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Keep in mind when I say this, the dude's 30 years old, it doesn't pertain too much, but it's because she is talking about it in his past lives.
Yeah.
She said that he had like a warrior spirit and that like he was a Spartan. I was like, yeah, that's pretty fucking neat. She also said he's a Vietnam War vet. I thought that was really, really funny. Not that the fact of being a Vietnam War vet is funny to me, but this 30-year-old guy walking around with a Vietnam War vet and to be like, don't worry. Past life, you know, I was there with you, buddy. Like I was right there. Like, what the fuck? Take that hat off, you know. I actually asked him that. I was like, so would you have issues if I brought in a Vietnam War vet hat and you just wore it all the fucking time? And he was like, I don't think I'm going to. I was like, that'd be pretty fucking funny.
Yeah.
Like, no. In my past life, like I died there. I know, R.I.P. But
what if you got like previous Vietnam War vet?
What do you mean?
Like it says that, like you know, how, like Vietnam War vet on the hat, but it
like
says
previously,
previous. Like
like you're starting a new episode and it says previously on the last episode.
Yeah,
you're just previously in my past life. It's just a reboot.
It says Vietnam War vet on the front, but in the back it says in my past life.
I wonder what I was in my past life.
Maybe that's why you should go see a psychic.
I'm just a sex slave. I have the sexy spirit. I have the sexy spirit.
You couldn't even say it.
I wonder if they could tell me... Well, she does predict things in the future, but I wonder if there's ever been, like, outlandish ones. Like, it's like, oh my god, in your future, you will become a full-blown cyborg, but something happens. Somebody hacks into your programming and makes you a blowjob bot. All day, you just suck dick. Isn't that the biggest problem with that? Not sucking dick, but like if we do become like full cyborgs at some point, wouldn't they, like, couldn't somebody just hack you and just like you're a blowjob bot now and you like it? I
think being a blowjob bot is bad personally, but I think like if they hacked you and made you like
sounds homophobic,
made you like a murderer, that would be bad.
I don't know. I think I'd rather murder than someone program me to just suck dick all day.
That sounds homophobic.
Because I don't like sucking dick. Mm-hmm. That's not homophobic, right? Just because I don't like sucking... I was going to say other people's, but that just sounds like I'm sucking my own dick and I like that. But like, I don't know. That's one of my biggest worries about the future. Like, because I've never thought about the idea of like... I was like, yeah, it'd be pretty cool to be a cyborg, but like, what if you get hacked?
Yeah.
Not even if you're just a dick-sucking robot. Like,
I wouldn't want to go, like, fully robotic. I'd want, like, just an arm.
Yeah. Just one arm?
Yeah.
Which arm?
Probably left.
Left?
Yeah. I couldn't imagine
trying to have tattoos on your left, though.
I know.
That kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But
I wouldn't want to, like, have to learn how to write with a robotic arm. I feel like it'd be weird.
You shouldn't have to, right? There should be like some nerd that can program that into you.
Yeah, I guess so.
But if we keep calling them nerds, they're going to make me a dick-sucking robot, you know? I'm going to make fun of them, like, hey, can you program this into me, nerd? And then they're like, okay.
Does that mean you're getting, like, robotic lips, and then they're just turning you into a dick-sucking robot?
No, everything else about me is robotic, but I keep these luscious lips that I have. They're not going to want to change that. I got decent lips.
Yeah.
And I think for a dick-sucking robot, I think I fit the mark pretty well. But I don't know. Okay, if I did have like a cyborg appendage, I would want it to be my left arm. I would want it to be overtly robotic. Like, I don't want it to look humanoid. Like, no. I want you to be able to see the metal. Yeah. I want it to be very clear.
I want Iron Man's arm.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like, I want it to be, like, absolutely crazy. I don't want just, like, a metal arm. I'd want it to be, like, Iron Man.
One of my eyes being, like, I pretty much want to be Cyborg from Teen Titans at this point. It's pretty much what I'm describing. Like, one eye's just red and
could you
laser.
imagine get, like, robotic legs? You just, like,
I don't know why I'm keep thinking about
so
dicks, but I was immediately going to say dick. I mean, you have, like, a jackhammer setting.
They're pretty neat.
Yeah.
I think I could make that work. I think I really could. No.
The psychic thing.
Yeah.
I was wanting us to do it at some point.
I'm not against it. I think I don't take it too serious, but I also don't I don't count it out. I don't necessarily believe in it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm kind of like, it seems like they just make vague predictions.
That's what I think too.
And
I think they're kind of vague leaps of faith.
And you could be good at that.
Yeah, you really can. You can study up to be good on that because there are so many things like you could make assumptions by like how someone sounds, where someone lives. I mean, even their like ethnicity. Like you can make general assumptions and
the way people dress.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm decently good at reading people. Obviously, not on the level of like a psychic.
Yeah,
probably would be, but like I'm pretty good at reading people. And if I talk to someone for an hour, I could probably make some pretty good vague guesses on shit that they haven't told me.
Yeah.
So you're pretty much doing it with less time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think it's complete bullshit in that nature, but I don't think that like they're seeing the future. I don't think it's like that's all Raven.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
Things like tarot card readings, I think they're neat. I like them. I think they're cool. I don't take it too serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, because one of the things he said that she said was that he's going to have to make like
an important decision. But I was like, yeah, at some point in everybody's life, they have to make a pretty important decision. Like, I don't think that's too groundbreaking crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, if you tell someone that, then they're kind of looking out for it. And then when an opportunity comes up, they'll just associate it with that. Be like, this is the decision. This was the groundbreaking decision. Where normally, if you're not thinking about it, you'll probably just be like, yeah, I have to make a decision here.
Yeah. I want to hear shit that, like, at 6:37 p.m., you will stub your toe. I want to hear shit like that. I want to hear shit that's like, uh-oh, you know?
It'd be so fucking funny. You stub your toe at 6:38, you look, you're like, bitch, what's wrong?
Somebody knocks on your phone at 6:36, turns 6:37, she hits you on the toe. Gotcha. Told you it happened, bitch.
Would you want to know if the psychic could tell you when you die?
When
and or how?
I actually seen something about this relatively recently. Like someone made that argument, and it changed my mind. I've always said that I would want to know when I die, like if some fucking way that it could tell me.
Oh, you would want to know the how side of things?
No, I would never want to know how, because I think that like usually the one that you hear is like hit by a car.
Or like in a car wreck.
Yeah. So then you're just afraid of driving.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, I'm never going to get in a car. Like,
yep.
That's kind of... So it prevents you on that nature. I noticed something about me when I know that the ending of something, so like in a TV show, if I know that there's an ending, I anticipate everything that's going on as like, they got to wrap this shit up soon.
Yes.
We got to get to the ending. And I think that if I knew when my ending was, I'd be the same way with me. Because I'm very much the opposite.
Dude, You know, we just talked about it last night. I think that's why I don't cry during movies.
What?
It's because I pretty much know how sad movies are going to end.
Yeah.
For the most part, there's really not a surprise to it. So from the beginning, I'm kind of gearing myself towards that.
Yeah.
Like, I would say the one that, like, I guess my girlfriend said that not I guess my girlfriend, but my girlfriend
yes.
was saying that she thinks got to me was The Notebook. And I legitimately could see that.
Yeah.
Because I expected it to, like, be sad, be heartfelt. I didn't expect the dementia.
Yeah, it is.
The dementia got to me.
Yeah, that show's really sad.
Plus, I was bricked up, so I was a lot more emotional. I was fighting through it to get some puss. No man is watching Notebook with his girlfriend without anticipating sex after. I'm not trying to sound like a pig, but it's just like
it's got to. If there is, it's got to be a good 99% of people.
Yeah, because I'm not watching The Notebook by myself. Not because I think I'm too manly to watch those movies. It just doesn't interest me at all.
Yeah. I like rom-coms. I've always have.
Yeah.
I like The Notebook.
Well, that's not a rom-com.
I know, but I'm just saying,
I was about to say,
it's the same.
Like, I must have missed the com part of it.
Neither.
Okay.
I don't watch either of those things without trying to get laid.
Yeah. I remember, and I've honestly made the mistake of doing that before because, like,
I am now a big fan of the Harry Potter franchise.
Yeah.
But I remember when my girlfriend first tried to show it to me, I didn't pay attention at all because I was doing it all for puss. I watched 8 different movies with the hopes of getting puss after each one of them. And we watched them in a row. I was hoping during each movie I was going to get puss, so I didn't really pay attention.
Yeah.
But now that I've paid attention, it's pretty damn good.
Yeah. You know, there's shows.
I don't even care if I get puss after. I just love watching Harry Potter.
Yeah. There's shows and movies that I still like, that I've done that with, that I still am like, those suck.
Twilight?
I think Twilight actually sucks.
Twilight really does suck.
I don't think it was because I was trying to get puss through the whole movie. I think it was because they sucked.
Yeah, puss or not, it's not worth watching. I don't know if there's any puss on this earth that's worth watching Twilight.
I'm not going to do it again. I really don't want to.
I don't know. If you pop a Blue Chew in my drink and I'll put it in.
If we go out to eat, she just slips me a Blue Chew, I'll probably watch Twilight. But that's probably why that shit doesn't really get to me, because, like, again, I can, for the most part, kind of predict how shit's going to end. But again, The Notebook got me because I swear to God, I think I'd rather get hit by a semi-truck every day for the next 3 years than have dementia.
Yeah.
Because if I get dementia, I want someone to kill me.
Same.
If it is via semi-truck, that, oh well.
Yeah,
actually,
I feel
no.
the exact same.
I don't want it to be. I don't want a semi-truck driver being responsible for my death. I have spent so long hating them, I feel like it'd be like the Joker killing Batman. That's not how I'm dying, you know?
Yeah, fair.
I'd rather die like, I don't know, like a fucking vending machine falling on me. I feel like that's a lot less embarrassing than some, like, 600-pound dude that's in a goddamn truck killing me, you know?
So, would you want to know? How or when?
Genuinely, I am curious about it. Because I wonder how specific it is. Because what if it just says, like, attack? And you're just like, attack from what?
Yeah. What if it was, like, in your 30s? Like, in your 70s? Like, it's just...
I'll get them. I'll kill myself in my 60s. Gotcha, bitch.
In my 70s, I'm not that worried. Unless it's just like, you die when you're 74 via eagle. And I'm like, oh, shit. Like, oh, no. Like, what am I doing? Like, I really got to watch the fuck out when I'm 72. But that does kind of... So I wonder if that's concrete then. I wonder if I could kill myself. Because, like, you know that Family Guy episode when the Grim Reaper breaks his leg and he's kind of like, nobody can die, so everybody goes out there and jumps off buildings and shit.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's kind of the same thing. I wonder if it's like set in stone. You're going to die when you're 64 years old via pelican. Like, I don't know why so many avian species are in my ways of dying, but pelicans can dive at 40 miles per hour, so...
Can't eat a capybara, though.
Cannot eat a capybara. No. So, if you're beside a fish and a pelican just comes... It could probably impale you, so...
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm doing that at the age of 64. I don't know why I'm swimming right beside a fish, but... What was I saying?
What do you want to know?
Oh, if it's set in stone. So if that means, like, if I just shot myself in the head, like on this podcast right now, after the psychic told me I wouldn't die until I was 50 via cardinal attack, I wonder if that means... Yeah, I'm just... I'm getting younger and the birds are getting smaller. But I wonder if that means, like, I could do anything.
At the age of 25 by a hummingbird.
Oh, God, that's next year. Damn.
To a hummingbird?
I was going to be able to rent a car next year. Oh, my life would be cut short via hummingbird. But, yeah, I wonder if that means everything else is on the table. Like, I could just take a chainsaw to my fucking neck and it'll just, like, you know, like it'll just go out or something.
Yeah. I don't know.
I would like to know.
I definitely wouldn't.
Man, I don't know. That's just, that's just so much.
It'd be so much added pressure on your everyday.
Except, unless it gives you the answer you want. But if not, because what if it said something even not too close, but kind of close, like 40?
Oh,
and you're like, ooh, like, what should I do? Like, that's not close enough for me to freak out, but that's not long enough to where I'm living a full life.
I'd panic.
Yeah, 40?
I'd panic at almost any age if I was told. I really do think so.
But it was like 276 years old.
I'd be like, I only have so much time. Like, I don't know
That
why.
is true, because you have a set date now.
Yeah.
You're just like, well, I only got 200 years left. I'm not 76. I'm just not doing the exact math on that.
Yeah.
It's like 252?
Yeah.
Yeah, so... I would have 252 years left.
Yeah. It's like, I only have 252 years left. What could I do? And then I would, like, really push myself to get everything done, and then...
That'd be crazy if he was like a vampire. Like, if he was a vampire and you only figured out you had 252 years, you're like, uh-oh, what happens?
Yeah.
What do I do? Yeah. Because it has to be somebody killing you.
And then as it gets closer to the date, I think that you start to think, like, what could it be? If you're not told... Because then, like, every little thing, you'd be like, oh, shit, that could be it. Oh, shit, that could be it. Oh, shit, that could be it.
I think the thing I said earlier is not too far off the mark with that. I think if you told somebody they was going to die in a week and they don't know, I think they might kill themselves.
276. What bird?
Velociraptors. Yeah. No, not velociraptors. Pterodactyl.
Yeah. Okay.
A pterodactyl comes back.
Like, what is the biggest fucking bird? Yeah.
Isn't the biggest bird... I mean, because they're not birds. But I think like a harpy eagle is the biggest bird.
They're fucking gigantic.
Or a California condor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Harpy eagles like hunt monkeys. They're pretty goddamn big.
Yeah.
I don't know how big I'll be at the age of 276.
You probably get smaller.
I don't know. That's a lot of time to buff up.
You just keep working out.
You know how much protein I could take from now to the age of 276? I
cannot fathom the amount, actually.
No. Yeah, I couldn't put that into a grams form, you know?
No.
I was going to try to do math of like 252 times the amount of grams of protein I usually take in a day.
Mm-hmm.
Which I would honestly say is probably like 80 grams of protein.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have calculators.
Yeah, we do. You gonna do a little bit of math? Figure out how much.
42,000. I don't know. I don't think I'm that small of a 276-year-old man. I don't know if I'm just going to shrivel up and look like that old lady, the old chocolate lady from SpongeBob, or if I'm going to look like Jorgen von Strangle. That is me 42,000 grams of protein later.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and that's if I just don't like eat stuff like Five Guys or like 20 wings at Roosters. You know,
that's also assuming you never have more. That's your set.
At least.
Yeah, at least that much.
At least 42,000 grams of protein. I wonder if I just did it right now. If I just consumed 42,000 grams of protein right now. Or grams of anything, really. I think if I consumed 42,000 grams of anything, it would be fucking nuts.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for that. But I do think that still stands like, because I think if you tell a lot of people go die in a week, I think they will kill themselves. Because of the anticipation.
I think they
could literally stress themselves into a heart attack or take it away just so they don't have to live with that.
The amount of pressure would be insane. And it really doesn't matter how far ahead. Because, like, again, I'll use the comparison of, like, a show. I watched a show, I knew that the ending was coming up.
Yep.
And there was, like, 100 episodes left. And I still, the whole time, was like, we gotta wrap this shit up. We gotta get to the ending.
Yeah.
Like, every little thing that happened, I was like, no, I don't care about this story. I want to hear the finishing story, so that we got to wrap this up.
So, not kind of time related, but we've been talking about time a lot. It's honestly made me think of whenever we said if we, like, going back in time with anybody, like, living or dead who we'd have dinner with.
Yeah.
I've actually thought about that since then.
Okay.
Because I don't know if it is Mike Tyson. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking maybe Cleopatra. Because I'm a firm believer that attractive women didn't exist before the 1960s. So, how bad was this woman to where entire wars were fought over her?
Yeah.
And she's kind of, like, known for that.
Yeah.
Like, bad bitch Cleopatra. I don't know what she actually did to her politics, but, like, she is kind of known for being that bitch. You know? I want to know how bad she is. I bet she'd stink. I'm just thinking of, like, sitting across a dinner table with her. I bet she fucking stinks.
Yeah.
So that was probably, like, a time where it was like, oh, to keep your puss, like, clean and fertile, we're gonna rub lamb piss on it. You know, they just did weird shit like that. Like, to stay a virgin, we're gonna rub blood on the door.
Maybe that's why she's, like, wars were fought over her, is because she cleaned herself. What if that's all it was? What if she just, like, bathed herself and everyone was like, there's never been someone ever that's been this bad.
So I have two things off of that, because there are people now who have stinky pusses. Yeah. And we have so many things you can do for a modern day stinky cooch, you know?
Yeah.
But back then, there wasn't too many women of power. Mm-hmm. Probably damn near none outside of her, because they probably all, like, burned to death if they try to gain power. I think people may have been so turned on by the fact that a female was in charge.
Is it fair?
Because to me, I think that's hot as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not talking, like, manager at McDonald's hot, because, like, that's kind of hot. but I can't tell you how many times. But no, like, I don't know, I just can't imagine how hot that would be. Like, you're just an average Egyptian dude, have never smelt a clean puss in a day of your life, and then all of a sudden, this girl whose puss smells like peppermints becomes the literal boss of everything you do.
The queen.
Yeah.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah, I was going to add queen, but it feels so disrespectful after everything I just said.
Yeah.
That we're talking about a legitimate queen. I mean, wars were fought over. Oh, well, so no, it's not just that, because Julius Caesar was, like, fucking going to town on her. So it's not just I don't know. I mean, guys in power could like girls in power still.
Yeah.
And that does play along with your, the only clean coochie thing, because he'd be like, dude, we don't have that in Rome. Like, I don't know what you girls got going on, but holy shit, it doesn't smell like horse, like, shit, you know? Like, this is pretty neat.
This is pretty neat.
It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
I genuinely love living in modern day times so much that I wish I could live in the fucking future.
Yeah.
Kind of ironic, but I want to be the most advanced we could be.
Yeah.
Because there's this girl at my work who was like, you know, the whole, like, oh, I'm an old soul kind of shit. Like, no, you're not. You're...
Yeah.
Yeah. You listen to Pink Floyd. That doesn't mean you're an old soul. It means you're a whore of the CD player. But she said that, like, she wishes she would have been born or alive in the 20s. And I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't. No. It's like, are you kidding me? I was like, I legitimately think
African Americans who were slaves in this country had the right to vote before you did. So I was like, I don't think that's a good time for a woman to be alive.
No.
I don't think anybody really gave a shit about women in the 1920s. I really don't know when women could start voting. I really do think that, like, legitimate people who were ex-slaves... Because, like, even slaves had a 1/5 vote? Or a 3/5 vote? Or just something awful. But I don't even think women had that. I think women had, like, a -5 vote.
Women can start voting in August 18th...
2004.
1920.
Okay, so she could legitimately just start voting.
Yeah.
Are you looking up when African Americans could vote?
Oh, I wasn't going to. I was kind of just...
Oh.
Do you want me to?
Yeah, I kind of do. Because I want to know what this country hates more. If it's African Americans or girls. I think that's a pretty good way of determining who America hates more. What is it?
1870.
Oh my fucking... Is that the 3/5 thing? Because I know for a while they didn't have an entire vote.
In 1870, the 15th Amendment prohibited states from denying a male citizen the right to vote based on race, color, or previous condition of servitude.
It took them quite a few amendments to get to that one. It was like, we'll put it on a little side note. We'll think about it. We'll come back to it. Women weren't even a part of that.
No, it was men of any. You can't discriminate against a man.
Dear fucking Christ. One of the funniest comics I've ever seen, just like a little short comic strip. Yeah. It was this black and white guy, assumably scientist, standing next to a time machine, and the white guy's like, "Hey, Craig, I've perfected the time machine. Do you want to go back in time?" And the black guy's like, "I don't know." I don't think so, man. I think that's so fucking funny because you always hear these people who haven't been alive for more than 15, 20 years being like, "Oh, I bet it would have been so cool to live like during like the whole hippie thing." And I'm like, you know why they're hippies, right? Because there was a war in Vietnam going on. People, you want to be drafted in the Vietnam War?
People say
sounds so nostalgic
that they want to live in the past because they like the music and fashion. That's it,
bro. That's here today. You can go out and buy you some shitty bell bottoms, and you can listen to Pink Floyd.
You can dress
do that now.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it blows my fucking mind that they're like, "I wish I lived in that time." It's like, why? It's like, look at these pictures of it.
Why? Nothing was better back then. Nothing has ever been better going back. Like, what? You want to watch the exciting sport of baseball in the 1920s when some chubby fat white dude was the best player in the entire world? Sounds fun, you know. Don't get me wrong. I like Frank Sinatra, even by today's standards. That was it back then. You just had Frank Sinatra and 20 other white guys who just stole music from black people. And that was the music. That's all you got.
And here's the thing. You can listen to all of that music now.
Yeah. The 20s, I think,
and everything now.
The 20s, I think, was a specifically interesting time that you'd want to be alive. Because I'm like, you know, you're not just on an infinite loop of the 20s. Like, you know what happens the next decade? A depression. A literal depression of an entire nation happens. A world war happens. I don't know. That's not too nostalgic to me. Like, oh yeah, the 20s sounds so good because I can dress like an old flapper girl. I think that sounds disgusting, by the way.
Yeah, it's
a flapper girl. But I don't know. As a white guy, honestly, I think as a white guy is the only time that I understand, not understand, that sounds racist, that it does sound better. It makes sense that people, like white people, would be like, oh, I would love to go back to like the 1940s, not the 1940s, I was going to say the 1400s.
Yeah.
You know?
I get what you're trying to say.
Because almost any other race, you really shouldn't want to go back in that much of time, you know?
For anyone, this is going to come off bad too.
Yeah, there's no good way to put this. As white men.
As a white guy is the only way that you can say that you want to go back in time, and you're not just like completely fucked.
Yeah, you're not taking your rights away by going back in time.
Yeah, that's the best way I can say it.
Yeah. But apparently, trading your ability to vote is very much worth being able to dress like a flapper girl.
I just looked up the 20s and just looking at it, and
they look stupid, don't they? They're stupid. The women are ugly. Women are ugly and stupid, and they can't vote. I don't get it. I don't get the mass appeal to that, because what I think of is whenever you want to go back in time, you're taking conveniences away from me. Mm-hmm. Like, what did people jerk off to in the 20s?
I honestly don't know.
You probably honestly didn't have to. Because they didn't give a shit about women. You could probably just drag any woman by their hair that you fucking wanted to, and just, that was your day. And they didn't care. What are they going to do, have a vote on it? You know? They didn't fucking care.
People seriously just watch Gatsby and it's like, I wish I lived in that time. They think that that's what it's like.
Yeah. Yeah. No. No, that's not even close to how that's like.
I wish I lived in a time like Gatsby. A rich white man.
Yeah. You know,
like, even he was privileged.
Yeah,
in his movie.
Yeah. I was like, you're poor by today's standards. Like, if you went to the 20s and you was in the Gatsby movie, you'd probably be the gas station owner whose wife is getting her back blown out by Gatsby. You know,
you're poor by poor standards.
Yeah, you're modern day poor. I couldn't imagine the fucking mud hut you live in the 20s. You just operate a gas station that a rich guy comes by just to fuck your wife.
You could hear the parties from your fucking hut that you live in.
Dude, I don't think people like truly appreciate like air conditioning.
No.
I don't want to live without air conditioning. There is no period in life where I'm like, it sounds better even if there's no AC. Like, I need AC. I need something to jerk off to. And I'm not talking magazines. I don't want to go to the 80s when people was like busting loads on Playboy magazines. Like, I am so spoiled at this point that I need a video when I beat my dick. Paper doesn't do it for me. I don't know. I've always hated that. They're like, oh, I'm an old soul trapped in a young body. Like, no. You're a dick. You know? You're just a dick. You know? You're a dick who's not caught up on modern times, or, you know, like, I don't get it. Especially I don't get that for women. Like, things still aren't great for women. You know, I mean, granted, it's a lot better.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know. Like I have definitely never heard of a black person saying that they like, oh, I'd like to go back to.
That is fair. It is. I've only heard it exclusively from like 99% women and maybe like 3 guys ever.
Yeah.
But usually it's women being like, I wish I could dress like that. I wish I could go to those parties.
You could, you know.
Yeah.
You and your horror friends could dress like this, have your horror parties, and then at a Gatsby-like party you throw in your trailer. You know. You can do that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you don't really hear any other ethnicity saying, like, yeah, I'd like to go back to... Things have been pretty bad. It kind of makes me think about, like, people saying that the whole argument of, like, things are, like, it didn't used to be this bad. Which I also hate, which, I'll explain that a little bit. Mm. But, like, even stuff, if you want to say, like, police brutality. Like, oh, it's gotten worse, you know, it hasn't been this bad in X amount of years. And I'm like, you know what's happening? We're seeing it more.
Yeah.
It's not, I don't think it's gotten worse. I definitely don't think it's gotten better. I think things have been bad for a long time with that.
Yeah.
But you are literally one click away at all times from sharing what's happening to you.
Yeah.
So, like, something in Russia could happen, and I'll know, like, seconds after it happens. Like, if I'm following the right page or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I just think that, like, things have been bad for a while, but, you know, you can see everything now.
Yeah. I think it's been so bad that now people... I don't want to discredit.
Yeah.
Police officers have been so corrupt for so long that now they know if they do something fucked up, it'll get caught on camera. They could lose their job. They could go to jail for the rest of their life. And it's been so bad for so long, that doesn't even faze them. That they still believe that they can get away with it because
they can.
They fucking can.
Yeah, they really can.
Holy shit, they still do.
Man, there's one thing I hate on this channel. It's dorks. Mm-hmm. And I don't think I have to say too much more. You pretty much give a dork a gun. It's a cop now. You know?
Yeah.
Did you ever see that experiment of, I can't remember what, I want to say it was like Stanford University, but there was some university that did like an experiment where they had this group of people and they just randomly assigned half of them to be guards and the other half to be prisoners. They didn't tell them to treat them any specific way. They just said to be like guards and prisoners, and the guards like abused the prisoners. Like just out of sheer human instinct. Like these aren't people who had like ex-military training or like, you know, just real life dicks.
Yeah.
Like when they got that position and was told to act like guards to these people who didn't even commit real crimes, like they were dicks.
Wow.
Yeah. Just pretty crazy.
That is crazy.
And, you know, I think that's what happens on an actual scale, because if you look at it as like a, you know, from each town to another, I think most cops are specifically made up of people that were bullied in school and who now are just dorks with a gun.
I wonder if anyone's ever done that statistic, but I mean, I believe you.
What, dorks? Dorks in the police force?
You think dorks are taking that statistic to see if cops are dorks? Of course not.
Oh, yeah, because that's just their fellow dork.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, cause I really do think it's just most of the time people who have never had an ounce of power. So they're like, what's the easiest way for me to gain power without actually like going to college or doing any kind of serious training? They're like, oh, I'll be a cop and I'll just be dicks to people who were cool in high school.
Yeah. People who are cool and bullied dorks probably aren't running statistics. Like, they're probably not like, let me find the stats of this.
Yeah, that is true.
So,
or on the opposite side of things, like meatheads. I've seen a decent amount of like meathead cops.
Yeah.
Yeah, who are just dicks. I don't know. Like, I don't know. They're just, I'm not smart enough to come up with a like absolute solution to it, but I feel like I should be involved somehow because I don't know. I got player one syndrome, and I feel like I could make things better. Let me bully some of these cops, and I think we could get down to the root of the problem pretty fucking quick.
Yeah, I think if cops got bullied more.
I don't think they're bullied enough.
Yeah, cops just need to be bullied more, and then they.
I think you should get.
Bricks.
I think, like, at least 1 or 2 times a year, you should get a square up clause. Like, you know, you think you're being mistreated by a cop, and you're like, all right, put the weapons down. Let's fucking square up right now and see who is illegally merging. You know, let's see. You know, like, let's see who takes this. And just fucking square up with them. I would love that so much. I think that'd make things so much more fun. Yeah. Like, all right, you know what? I'm using it. This is my square up card. Punch it. I'm using it. I'm going to square the fuck up right here. If I lose, yes, I'll do 20 years for running over that family. But if I win, you take my spot in jail. That would actually cause them to, like, up their training. You know how much you get away with if you was, like Francis Ngannou or something? You're just like,
let's fight for it.
That's why I think you should only be able to do it once a year.
Yeah.
Now, that once a year, you could probably legitimately use it to, like, murder somebody and just be like,
ooh, this is going to be a tough fight, but...
All right. Let's go. It's like, God damn it, Roy. Every year on your birthday, you cash this in. You got to stop. So if I get 1 free crime a year, I'm trying to think if I actually would. I would legitimately use it. If I had 1 free crime a year...
I don't think I'd use it for anything crazy.
It's also not a free crime, because you also have to be pretty sure you could beat the fuck out of whoever's arresting you.
That is fair. I think if I have 1 free crime, I would go like 200 on the fucking highway. Like, just the max speeding ticket I could possibly get would be the crime that I'd be like,
yeah.
Worse.
Like, man, this dude do this in a Toyota Fusion.
Toyota Fusion.
God, my bad. A Ford Fusion. Like, God damn, this dude pulling 200 in a Ford Fusion?
But yeah, like,
hybrid? I didn't even know they did that.
But yeah.
Could you imagine you did it in, like, Florida,
And then Shaq comes to arrest him. God damn it!
He would slowly become the best cop.
Just him and Steven Seagal.
Beating the shit out of people.
They're like, okay, it's June 20th. Roy probably is going to try to cash in this one free crime.
It'd be so funny to see a car get like pulled over and they just start hanging out the ticket, and then you just see Shaq get out of the car and they just pull the ticket back in. Fuck. Never mind.
Fine, I guess I will do 40 years in prison.
Shaq pulls out the ticket.
This is my free crime. Damn it! He's going to beat the shit out of me. I actually did see something very recently about this dude that was going 300 miles per hour. Like, you could see it from his cam. It was 300 miles per hour. I don't know what he was driving that can go that fast on the road. He wrecked. And I was like, oh, shit, that's crazy. And I look in the comments, and somebody was like, hey, you want to see the aftermath? And I was like,
of course I do.
Yeah. Every single one of that dude's limbs were like 20 feet away from each other.
Holy shit.
Decapitated. I'm assuming that just after that, every single body part that just hit the ground just flew off. Like an action figure. Because you're going that fast, you're hitting the road, I'm assuming it's not going to scrape your skin. It's just going to throw it off.
Yeah, that's absolutely crazy.
Yeah. So you're almost doing that in a Ford Fusion Hybrid.
It wouldn't be my car. My car definitely can't.
Yeah. Are you going to rent a car? Just to kill yourself in, basically?
If I knew that I
That's a dick move to rent a car to kill yourself in.
That is mad.
Yeah, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
Because that also means you've probably wanted to kill yourself for a while, but you're waiting until you're legally allowed to rent a car, which is at the age of 25.
Yeah.
Then rent a car and then kill yourself. You're kind of a dick, you know?
Yeah.
What car would you do in it? What car do you want to kill yourself in?
I don't know. I've never thought about it. I guess a Tesla. I mean, it's my favorite car.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not even thinking of favorites.
Well, I mean, it is my favorite car. If I was going to die in one, I'd want it to be my favorite.
I want one of those little small cars.
Little small car?
Yeah. Just the smallest absolute car. You could fit 4 of them in this room.
Yeah.
I want to die in that. Had to be a lot of people that's died in that, right?
I don't
So I mean, I think if they get in on in a head-on collision with someone on a tricycle, I think it's like a double fatal wreck. You know,
it's 50-50.
I think both of those drivers are going down. I honestly think the person on the tricycle has a better chance of surviving that one. That's got to be the absolute worst car I've ever seen.
Oh, I hate them. I absolutely hate them.
I think they're adorable.
Yeah.
I think they're super adorable, you know. But I can't imagine who that's made for.
Yeah. I mean,
like
it
a 3-foot-tall lesbian. Like, I don't know who's driving that car. Like, who is that made for?
Someone seen like a Volkswagen Beetle and was like, that's way too big of a car.
Too
it's way
safe.
too bulky.
You know, and
what if we cut it in half?
There's a 16% chance I'd survive a wreck in a Volkswagen Beetle. Let's cut that in half. Yeah. Let's cut that in half in literal size and likelihood of surviving a crash in this thing.
It's wild to me that someone seen that small ass car and was like, way too big, too
enough.
bulky. I need a smaller car.
Yeah.
I've also never seen a small person in a smart car.
A smart person?
No, a small person.
Well, yeah, because you throw like Vern Troyer in there.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. It might
look like Shaq in a Honda commercial.
That,
you know,
you might be right. It might just be comparison.
Yeah, I think it really is. Something else.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else that I would like to have dinner with, and if I go back in time, it's a 1990s Denise Richards. You know what I'm talking about?
No. I was going to pretend I did, but
Bro,
no, I really don't.
Primo, like, I legitimately think, like, one of the most gorgeous people to ever exist.
Wow.
Yeah. Have you thought about yours any? Because there's a lot of shit that we talk about on here that, like, later I'm like,
oh, yeah.
That's crazy. Like, one of the bracket racket things, I wish I would have voted Signs of the Time versus over Rolling in the Deep.
Same.
I really wish I would have.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much everything that we talk about, because we don't prepare ourselves.
Yeah.
We come up with we'll come up with a topic, we'll pitch it, we'll talk about it, and then afterwards I'll actually think about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, usually I almost immediately go completely.
I immediately regret everything I've ever said.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. 1990s Denise Richards, man. Genuinely one of the hottest people to ever exist.
So the one thing that I don't get about your answer is not... You named 2 women, so I don't want this to come off wrong, but men or women that are good looking, like super hot, they're usually not the people I want to sit down and have a conversation with.
Whoa. You don't think you could have an interesting conversation with the literal ruler of Egypt? You don't think she has some interesting stories?
She might. Literally, do I think so? No, because I think that we speak different languages. I know.
You're such a nerd.
I'm being a dick.
You're being a nerd.
Okay, but...
You speak the same goddamn language in this. You can understand hieroglyphics. You're speaking the same goddamn language. I think Cleopatra has some interesting stories.
She probably does.
Probably. She knew Julius Caesar. I think there's a lot that she could come up with. You know? I think she's probably had a pretty interesting life.
Yeah, what about her?
I mean... an actress?
Yeah,
an actress, a model.
Actress, model, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Now, do I think we're 100% compatible? No, probably not.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been in a 2-mile span of anybody this hot in my entire life.
Yeah. If you're talking spend the day with, possibly get to fuck, of course I take her, someone else.
I don't care if she just spits on my foot.
Yeah. But if I'm going just sit down dinner, I don't think I take someone that's like I'm mostly attracted to.
You gonna go with like the creator of Nintendo or something?
That'd be
nerd.
I mean, that's not a terrible answer.
I know.
I don't hate it.
You're a nerd.
Yeah. But no, I said that mine was Schultz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out of all time, though. Yeah, you're definitely not going with looks on that one. But
no.
It's crazy this girl married Charlie Sheen.
That is crazy.
Charlie Sheen's a pretty cool guy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think he has AIDS.
I
really think at some point I heard he has AIDS.
You just throw out random stats and have no idea if they're true.
Stats? What kind of stat is that? He averaged 2 AIDS in his life? Like, no.
Alright, you just throw out random, I was going to say fun facts, but just facts in general.
Yeah, sometimes they're not even facts.
Yeah.
So, everydayhealth.com. Celebrities living with HIV. Charlie Sheen.
Okay.
His revelation that he was HIV positive sparked a wave of public awareness and boosted sales of home HIV test. In 2015, he announced this. So the year we graduated.
Yeah.
The disclosure resulted in a vast increase of online search queries for HIV prevention and testing, which was later dubbed the Charlie Sheen effect. That is not how you want your name to be used as a verb.
No.
Like, oh, what are you looking up online? Oh, I'm Charlie Sheening. I'm trying to see if I have AIDS.
Yeah. Other people that I would put in the...
Charlie Sheen. I like to have dinner with Charlie Sheen. We have separate cups and everything, but maybe separate tables. But yeah, I'd like to have dinner with him.
Yeah. I would probably pick someone who is successful in multiple categories.
Yeah.
So, like, the people that come to mind is, like, Gambino.
Yeah. If I'm being 100% serious, I think, honestly, right now, my answer would be Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
I want to know everything.
Yeah.
I'd probably annoy the goddamn shit out of him from all the things I'd ask him, but I would want to know everything. Because I'm like, dude, I know there's some things you couldn't talk about in the documentary. What is it? And what is it? You know, like, I want to know this shit. Like,
yeah. I think my honest answer would be Gambino.
Rodman. I mean, Rodman would be an interesting guy to talk to.
He would be. But, yeah, I really think my answer is, like, Gambino.
Yeah.
Another person that's done a lot of different shit and been successful at just about all of it that I think would be interesting is, like, Beau Burnham. He would be up on that list pretty high.
I feel like Beau Burnham in real life is a dick. I have no reason to think that. Maybe
he makes the joke about that.
Yeah.
That he's, like, quiet and people always say that he's a dick in real life.
Okay, yeah. I would say, I'm not saying dick because he's quiet because I hate that assumption. It's just like, oh, you know, you're not saying anything, so you must hate us. Like, you're not saying anything interesting. But that's a different topic.
Yeah.
But no, I just feel like he'd be a dick in real life. He seems like one of those people that are really artsy and serious about his craft. And I feel like he'd be a dick.
I can see it.
Yeah.
It wouldn't. If he was, it wouldn't surprise me. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think he is. I bet he's just like. I just assume he's like an introvert. Like he's kind of quiet, doesn't really talk, doesn't want to.
I hate that. I hate 98% of that time when that term's used.
Introvert? Oh, yeah, me too. But it felt like the best way to describe this in this.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah.
It's accurate what you're saying, but I usually hate when people say it.
Introvert, extrovert. I hate that.
Extrovert, like, to me, whenever I see someone use the term introvert, they're trying to, like, describe themselves as introvert. I'm like, why are you wanting to be an introvert? Like, you want to be the shy, standoffish person?
Yeah.
Like, no, you're not an introvert. Like, you know, like, I would consider myself, like, a highly functioning introvert. Honestly, more of a hermit than anything. I don't think I'm an introvert. I think I'm just a fucking hermit.
Yeah.
Because I don't think me just sitting inside means I'm an introvert, because I have no problem talking, like, in front of a camera and shit. I don't think introverts normally do that. Yeah. I think I have way too much confidence to be an introvert.
Yeah. I don't think I'm an introvert. I don't really... Yeah, I think you kind of said it best. I don't think... I just don't put myself in situations to be social.
Yeah, because I've had people, like, say that, because, like, out in public or at, like, work or something, I'm not usually a person that will start up a conversation. I just really don't care to, honestly, if I don't really know you that well. And I'm like, oh, really? You're not really saying much? I'm like, dude, you're talking about, like, a 1998 Toyota Corolla. Like, what the fuck do you want me to say? Like, I don't give a fuck about that.
I don't like when people are, like, especially, like, I mean, I guess towards me, being like, Brenden, you're really quiet, and they're talking about a bunch of shit I don't give a fuck about.
Yeah, because of
course I'm quiet. I don't want to fucking talk about this or to you all.
Yeah, because I remember, I barely remember what they was talking about because I was so uninterested.
Yeah,
but we was on lunch, and this dude was talking about his kid just got a 2006 Toyota something, and they was talking about the, like, stock safety features or safety recalls on it, and they're like 20 minutes deep in the conversation, and I'm just sitting there on my phone, and they're like, oh, Roy must be having a bad day, he's not saying anything, and I'm like, oh, sorry, it's been a while since I studied up on the safety features of a fucking Toyota. Like, what the fuck do you want me to say? Like, fuck you for trying to pressure me into the conversation. Talk about something that would slightly interest me. And then I'll probably jump in. Like, if you start off a conversation with, like, man, I really think I could out-wrestle a panda, I'll be like, you know what? I'm in.
Yeah, if you want to talk about fighting an animal, I'm in the conversation immediately.
Yeah. But
no problems talking about it.
Unfortunately for us, a lot of people, like, they don't really like when people start conversations that way. And, you know, usually throughout the day, that kind of stuff is what's on my mind. Like, I never want to start a conversation with, like, nice weather today, right? Like, I want to be like, dude.
Sure is a hot one out here.
Like, do you think I could take a Wolverine by myself? Like, that's the questions I'm usually thinking in my head.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't care about that. like, I remember the old people that used to live across the street. I'd walk outside, check the mail. He would look at me and be like, hey, some weather we're having. Not a cloud in the goddamn sky. I don't even think the sun was out, but it was still daylight out. And I was like, there is no weather going on. I just looked at him, looked up, and go, what the fuck you talking? Like, I didn't say that, but I just looked at him like,
yeah.
Like, yeah, sure. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? There's nothing going on. Like, it's not like there's a goddamn tornado happening behind me. It's not like it's bright and sunny. It was the most average day in human history. And I was just like, yeah. Crazy, right? Like, God damn it, dude. Just, I don't
get it.
I would say, because, I don't know. And it's not like I'll be having a conversation about the newest Pokemon expansion happening and then look across the table and be like, why ain't you add anything? I'm like, obviously I don't fucking care, you nerd. You know? Like, you're talking about a safety recall on an old Toyota. What the fuck? Why do I care? Why would I know anything about that?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna start doing that. You're right.
What?
I'm gonna start about shit that no one gives a fuck about, except for, like, the small group.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to pressure other people into talking about it, so they know how it feels.
Oh, hey, you having a bad day? You're not really saying anything about, I don't even know. What's something really, like, nerdy, like,
the next DLC of Binding of Isaac.
Yeah, like, oh man, you don't have anything to add? Like, something super specific.
Yeah.
Like, you're like no. Like, oh, bad day, huh? And it's like, oh, okay. Like, I hate that shit so fucking much. And they're like, oh, Roy's quiet. I'm like, it's 7 in the goddamn morning. What the fuck do you want me to say, dude? They suck a fucking dick. It's 7 in the morning. You want me to do cartwheels and throw glitter around? I don't have that much energy right now.
I always do that at noon. I always do cartwheels and throw glitter at noon. You know that
hours.
It's 7. Like some time.
Like, you know what, Marty? I don't care about your kid's baseball game. I don't give a single fuck about your kid's baseball game. I swear to God, I could not make it up how much I don't care about it.
I don't give a fuck about the professional athlete's baseball game that happened last night. I sure as fuck don't give a fuck about your kid's baseball game.
Yeah. What do you want me to say about that, Marty? Do you want me to say I was also there? I have no inside knowledge. I have never once met your kid. I don't know shit about your kid. I don't know shit about baseball. I barely know anything about you except your child plays baseball. What do you want me to add to this? I don't know. I just hate people's boring ass conversations that they think are so good that everybody should be a part of it. Yeah. It's like, man, it's not enough that me and one other guy is talking about my child's no-hitting baseball game. Yeah. We need to add more people.
Yeah. But I do respect when two people have a boring, not even two people, whoever, whatever amount.
Not even people, fish, cats, I don't care.
I don't. Whoever, whatever amount of people want to have a good their form of a good conversation. It may be boring as shit to me, and they don't include me. They don't want me to join in because they know I don't give a fuck about it.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
I respect the shit out of that, you know.
I have no problems being quiet and just chilling, not fucking talking to people.
One of my favorite ways a conversation was stirred up to me at work is like there was like 30 minutes of silence, really wasn't anything due. We was just sitting there. And this guy leans over and goes, one of my tenants tried to kill themselves last night. I'm like, God damn, Marty. Holy shit, that's how you start a conversation? He was like, yeah, he tried to, I don't even know the term for it, but when you fill up a garage with gas.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, okay.
I swear to
Fuck,
you.
Marty. You know?
I know it's wrong. I know it is. But the only thing that came to my mind was hotbox, and I was like, that's not it. Like, that can't be it, right? He wasn't trying to hotbox himself to death.
Man, what happened? He hotboxed himself. Damn, another one.
I was like, that's not it, right?
No, I hope not, because I have been a part of some hotboxes, but nobody died from it, so maybe we were just doing it wrong. Maybe I got high from a different thing. Maybe I got high off car exhaust, but yeah, I don't know.
But completely different.
Yeah, we're kind of running long with this one.
What's your song of the week?
Song of the week. From genuinely one of the whitest bands I have ever listened to in my entire life. It is a song called Eastbound and Down by Wester. Their name is literally all capitals, WSTR.
Sounds like
Wester?
Sounds like Wester to me.
With an acronym?
Oh. You can look it up. I don't know.
Whites should take ransoms. Whites should take ransoms. Are you looking it up?
Yeah.
What is it?
It was
World Series of Team Roping.
That's not right. Originally named, it says Waster. W-A-S-T-E-R.
Oh, they got rid of the A. I'm pretty sure there's no A in it.
No, it's W-S-T-R.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, here it is.
Yeah.
World Series of Team Roping. When's the next event? Sunday. Oh, yeah, that's always when those things are. Sunday.
Okay, my song of the week is Temptation by Joey Badass.
Ah.
Yeah.
When did you decide that? Because we just listened to it earlier.
I narrowed it down earlier. So I had I always have like 3 or 4 that I'm like, these are the ones that I want.
Yeah. I genuinely don't like that or, what's the other one? We listened to it today, too, by Joey Badass.
Oh, Devastation?
I think those sound like his most sellout songs.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't like those songs?
I did at first.
Wow. I still really like it.
I don't know. It sounds really like... I don't know. It just sounds... him trying to go mainstream. Like his sellout.
I can see it, but it doesn't...
It doesn't mean it's bad.
Yeah, it doesn't make me not like it.
But to me, I don't know. I think it's... I just hear it too much to where maybe I've kind of ruined the song for me.
Yeah, because I don't hear that song at all. Like, unless...
I haven't listened to it. I'm assuming it's my song of the week.
Yeah. I haven't seen it on social media, anything pretty much since it dropped.
Oddly enough, at that same lunch table
yeah.
that like they was talking about like the safety recalls of Toyotas, I can't remember if it happened before or after this. It's got to be after because it wasn't the same day, but there was a story that came up that it definitely got my attention.
Mm-hmm.
And this one dude at my work, what should I call him?
Call him Rick.
I'll call him Rick Astley.
You don't have to give them last names.
I know. They're people. I'll give them last names. So this dude at my work, Rick, it's funny because I'm picturing this guy and he's almost the exact opposite of what I'd imagine, well, what I know Rick Astley looks like. So this dude at my work, Rick Astley, he was telling us, I can't remember how it got brought up, but I think we were just talking about just like, I guess kind of revenge shit, like, or just getting back at someone.
Okay.
And he was telling us how there was a guy in his high school or college that was just an absolute asshole. Mm-hmm. And he was like, this guy was a dick. He would always do this. He's like, everybody hated him. So we had a party, and we invited him to the party, and he got really, really drunk. He's like, we made sure he got really, really drunk. And he was like, he passed out. We tied him up. I was like, okay.
This isn't sounding good.
Yeah, a little rough. And it was a big red flag because the next thing he said they whipped out was a camera. So I was like, there's really nothing good to be like coming after this. Well, what they did is they took various condiments and shoved it up his ass and squirted condiments up his ass on camera while he was drunk and tied up.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's word for word. That's what I said. And he said, yeah, fuck him. That's what that FAGGOT gets. And I was like, you sound gay.
Yeah.
You sound gay in this, Rick Astley. I was like, that's kind of gay on your end, right?
Yeah.
Like, this dude's an asshole. So you're like, I'm going to shove the ingredients for a good burger topping right up his asshole. Like,
this guy is an asshole. So let me get him drunk, tie him up, and start shoving shit up his ass.
Yeah, I was like, okay, maybe he pushed him down the stairs. Maybe he's like kind of a psychopath. But no, he's a legitimate psychopath. Like, not a kind of psychopath. Like, condiments. He was like, condiments is what should go up his asshole. Like mustard, ketchup, just... I'm assuming they got new condiments.
I was about to ask,
right? Like,
that's actually what I was going to ask you.
Or
so
if
you think they still used them?
Maybe it was just an in-the-moment thing. Maybe some dude was just grilling hot dogs out back, and he was like, you know what? Give me that.
Give me the ketchup.
You want it back? Yeah. I still got to make hot dogs, but I just thought that was crazy that he had the audacity to use a gay slur on the guy that just unwillingly got condiments shoved up his asshole. And he was like, yeah, that dude's gay. Like, dude, you filmed it too. And you told us about it. You told him. Like, everybody else was laughing. Don't get me wrong. I thought that was funny, but I was like, I don't know about that, man. Yeah. You kind of seem gay in this. Yeah. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but if your version of being gay is shoving condiments up unwilling guys' assholes, I do have a problem with that.
Yeah.
I am homophobic in that scenario. Please don't clip that.
I'm homophobic in this.
But no, I just thought that was fucking wild. And again, there's a lot of bad stories like that from where I work. And I never want anybody to meet them people. They are awful sewage rat people. And it is a lot more similar stories related to that. Not specifically condiments, but yeah, I don't know. Some weird shit, but yeah, it just made me think of it, because that actually did rope me in. I did appreciate that guy actually having a decent story to tell. It wasn't the safest or the most consensual story I've ever heard in my life, but I was like, at least we're not talking about safety recalls. You know, I was like, dear God, I would rather reenact that than listen to anybody talk about safety recalls in any Toyota model. Now, a Jeep, maybe. But I think I'd much rather take, relish up the asshole than listen to any safety recalls.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that 100% makes sense to me. I don't know what you want me to say.
Really, if you look at it in that scenario, there's probably a lot of things in life where I'd rather have someone, shove relish up my asshole. Not because I specifically enjoy, and, I can't say I don't enjoy it because I've never had relish up my asshole. But I don't know, I'm just trying to think of normal things like people that are close talkers. They got to be really close to you and talk to you. I'd rather them shove relish up my asshole than talk to me here.
Yeah.
That's how I'm gonna start looking at life.
Would I or would I not rather have relish shoved up my ass right now?
Yeah. Is this better than having relish up my ass?
Yeah.
And then I will proceed to shove relish up my ass.
If it's worse, I keep relish on me. Just in case.
I'm at work, somebody's like, man, some weather we're having. I'm like,
that's it.
Just shoving a tablespoon of relish up my asshole on spot. At least a decent fucking story would come out of that.
I don't think that those boring conversations would continue. I think it would kill the boring conversation.
Yeah. Could you imagine they keep going on with their story about the weather?
It's like,
dude, there is a jar of relish on my asshole, and you want to talk about the humidity right now?
I don't care what you do with your ass. I want to know about this weather.
They're just sitting there like, hey, would you mind if I kept on? I need a vent about the weather.
I can't tell if you hate this conversation or love it.
You're enjoying it so much
that you needed condiments.
Dude, if you ever walk up to me and talk to me about the weather, there has got to be a tornado within a mile of us, and it's about to strike us down. There is almost no other context where I'm like, hey, did you hear about the weather? And is there a tsunami? No, I don't really care.
If you would have walked out, went to check the mail, and the neighbor was like, hey, what weather we're having? And you looked over, and it was their side of the street
apocalypse
was a month. You look, and it's just the skies are black, and you're like, no, tell me, hurry. It's almost here.
Yeah, that is some weather we're having, Tim Burton. I do agree with you. That is some weather.
Yeah.
But if I just look behind me, not a cloud in the sky, nothing is happening, the weather is less interesting than your conversation, then I'm like, go hotbox yourself. They're rapping it full circle. You know what I hate? Something else. This podcast could honestly be called Things We Hate.
Yeah, I think if Jammin fails, that's what we're going with. That's the next podcast.
Hating with Kron Rex.
Yeah, that's the next podcast if this one fails.
That just sounds like a hate speech podcast.
It will be a different name.
No. It will become that. But no, what was I about to say? Something else that
you hate.
Oh, there's so many things.
Yeah, it could have been.
What else am I thinking of that I just
You were talking about
hate?
Awful, boring conversations, like what the weather we're having, and then you're like, something else I hate. Do you really lose it?
Dude, there's so many things I hate. Whenever you're driving, specifically near, this isn't it, but this is just something else I can think of that I fucking hate.
Yeah.
But people are crossing the road, and they know you're waiting on them, and they go diagonal. They don't go straight across. They don't even go sideways to just kind of like let you drive by and then cut across.
Yeah.
They walk in front of you and go diagonal.
So it takes even longer.
I hate that so fucking much.
Yeah.
And if those people 90% of the time weren't bigger than the car I was driving, I would hit them every fucking time. But usually it's some goddamn wildebeest just walking across the pond at a diagonal angle. Like, you son of a bitch, you know? They just make a perfect right degree triangle with my goddamn car. That is something I hate. I don't think it's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
But again, I think I'd rather shove relish on my asshole.
You got anything else?
I thought you was going to ask me, do you have some relish?
You got some relish?
Yeah, I have some sweet relish. I don't know if it makes a difference if it's sweet or spicy, but...
I don't know.
You want to try? OnlyFans?
And that's been Jammin with Kron Rex.
Keyword, Jammin. See you next time, maybe.